String instruments constantly go out of tune. It might be just a bit, or it could be more, depending on how well the instrument is set up, how well the pegs work. So for finer tuning, we have the fine tuners, and they are here. So there's simple screws, and you just take them out if you want to go lower or flatter. So this is going to be like, there we go. And then you adjust it with that. If the cello is really out, or you have to put a new string on, you have to use the pegs. So I'm just going to use it now just to demonstrate what it does. So if I play the A string, and that's where the problem starts, because you have to push it on in while you tune. And that's a bit too much, so use the fine tuner. So it's roughly there, but because it's very warm today, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. It's a bit flat. The pegs are for when it's really out of tune, and the fine tuners at the bottom are for fine tuning. So I've got my up in front of me, and I'm playing the A, and it says -4, so it's a little bit flat. So that means I'm going to use my fine tuners and tighten the screw a little bit. It still wants to go up a little bit more, so I tighten it more. And it's in tune. If it's really out of tune, so if I detune it, and I have to use the pegs. So now the tuner says that's nowhere near an A, which is supposed to be. So I now have to wind the string round the peg to make it sharper. And because it's really hard to fine tune it with the pegs, so this is again just a little bit under. So I'm going to use the fine tuner. Still a little bit flat. And that's in tune. So if it's really out of tune, or you have to put a new string on, you use the pegs. But depending on how well they're set up, you have to push the peg in while you play. So usually I do this not while I play. If it's really out, I would do it like this, so I can plug the string, watch the app, and then tighten the peg and push it into the peg box at the same time. And if it's just a little bit out of tune, then I use the fine tuners. Sometimes the fine tuners are all the way in, so you can't go any further, which means you have to use the pegs, but you just do it by a fraction. And my tip is, if you have to use the pegs, loosen it a little bit first, because then you get a feel for it, and then just go back up in little bits and keep checking with the tuner.